Hello, everyone. I'm here with Kevin Balgobind, and he is a multifunctional financial analyst at Lockheed Martin, and he graduated from UCF in the spring of 2021 with a bachelor's in integrated business. Kevin, I'm so glad to be here with you today.
Thank you, Faith, and I definitely appreciate the invite for this interview here. So I definitely look forward to talking to you.
Of course. So, Kevin, if you could basically just tell us about Lockheed Martin and what you do there.
Yeah, so Lockheed Martin is going to be essentially within the range of a lot of companies that are within aerospace and defense. These companies contain Lockheed Martin, as you know, which is one of the biggest players. And we have the other players such as L3 Harris, Northrop Gunrock. We also have different companies like NASA that's more into the space realm. So essentially what we do in the specific site that I work at, which is MFC, which is going to be Missiles and Fire Control. We're essentially the hub when it comes to creating different types of projects, when it comes to missiles and different space projects as well. It's very cool seeing a lot of these things come to life, when you're talking about, aerospace and defense, especially things like airplanes for the military. We do work with a lot of government contract as well.
Awesome. So, could you tell us a little bit about how you ended up at Lockheed Martin?
Yeah, so my journey actually started a couple of years back when I was actually in college. So the COP program, as most people know, is one of the best programs that UCF has made for any type of business student looking to get into aerospace and defense. It's essentially like an easier foot in the door than an internship when it comes to a student getting into Lockheed. So that's how I got my foot in the door. I got it about 3 years ago. I was able to, do a couple of interviews within Lockheed, had multiple offers lined up for the CWAP program, and I was able to choose what I wanted to go to. So what I chose to is to go towards finance because I was very interested in data analytics at the time. And pretty much there, I was able to forge a good relationship with the people around me and my team. And then after that, I pretty much fell in love with the work that I was doing and knew that I could grow a little bit further. And so I just put my 110%. And before graduation, I did get the return offer from the CWAP program in order to come on full time and work with my team.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. So, how would you say learning soft skills from the integrated business program helped you in your career at Lockheed Martin?
Soft skills has definitely helped a lot, and especially hard skills too, but I feel like soft skills more than likely will help anybody get into any type of job because it's those type of skills that people need in order to seem humane in a sense. The more interaction and the more lively you are, the more easier or the easier it will be to interact with your team. And that's what a lot of companies are looking for now is pretty much how good are you with working at a team and how cohesive are you with working with other people. Yes, you are going to be working with yourself for a lot of the time, but when it comes to, getting deadlines done, being able to work on different projects and different types of things with different people, even people that you didn't know before, forging that connection and having that first person impression is one of the biggest things and something that I would say the integrated business program has taught me a lot to do, especially with classes like Dr. Leo, with a lot of the other stuff that he does in presentations, prezis, all that stuff. It's definitely helped me a lot, and especially with my public speaking skills. If I hadn't gone through that type of program, especially with integrated business, I don't know where my presentation skills would be now.
Perfect. So, what kind of jobs do you have for integrated business students, either technical or non-technical jobs?
Yeah, definitely. So Lockheed provides a lot of different types of jobs when it comes to the business world. A lot of people, a lot of business students would be looking for accounting and finance, supply chain as well. And that's something that Lockheed offers, especially for integrated business students. I know when a lot of people see the word finance or they see the word accounting, especially as IB students, we're all, a little bit taken back. We're not too sure if we could, put our skills towards it. And I would say that's definitely wrong. I feel like a lot of what you learn is through the things that you do yourself. And a lot of the stuff that you do is through learning throughout the process. Yes, you're going to start a little bit slower than others when it comes to learning about various things since we're not, heavily driven to finance or accounting. But once you do get into the role of things and you know a good amount of hard skills when it comes to, like, for example, Excel, you'll be able to diversify yourself and I would say excel even further than others if you put your 110% and try to learn everything that you can. Not only finance and accounting, but there's also a lot of other stuff when it comes to procurement. If people are interested in things such as supply chain, being able to deal with different buyers and suppliers, that's something that a lot of people are into sales. So we do have a corporate sales side when it comes to dealing with different projects. Essentially, what they do is they try to find the supplies from these suppliers and provide them to engineers when they're working on their different projects and have the various needs that they need to complete the projects for.
Awesome. That's some great advice, Kevin. So, do you work with any other former integrated business graduates?
Sadly, I do not. Hopefully, we could expand that, and maybe in the future, we could be working with more integrated business students. I do know that there are a lot of IB students within Lockheed Martin since it's such a big organization. But on my team specifically, no. Hopefully, we could change that soon, though.
All right. And what are some specific qualities that can make a prospect stand out when applying at Lockheed Martin?
So as I mentioned before, I feel like personality is one of the biggest drivers. You could have somebody that has, straight A's, perfect GPA, and they do, participate with some school activities. But if you get in that interview and you don't provide a good first person impression to this manager or to this specific person looking to hire you, somebody else who has a greater impression, but not maybe as hard of a hard skill when it comes to GPA and things like that, they're going to choose that person because they're going to see how malleable they are in regards to going into different situations and seeing if they're able to work with other people easily. Also, another thing that I've learned through my manager directly is giving a good impression on somebody and having a very pleasurable, I would say, personality makes it easier for these people to hire you because they're going to look at you and say, I could look at myself working with this person every single day of the week, and I'd rather work with them than somebody who's not as interactive with the team and doesn't really participate in much. That saying, you should have a good balance of both soft skills and hard skills. So I would say public speaking is one of the main things that I would push towards in regards to standing out towards the rest. If you're able to put a good impression and speak well, speak very confidently as well, it could be one of the main drivers that stand you out from the rest. But also have a good amount of technical skills to back up that confidence that you have. One of the biggest hard skills that I've learned is Excel. And I know through data driven decision making, that's something that also helped me develop my Excel skills as well. That's also something within Lockheed or any other company that's something that's very big and something that they always look for, especially for business students. If you could pretty much work with Excel and you have a good skill set, you're very talkative and you're very interactive. I would feel like that's a good, I would say, equation in order to make a good candidate for somebody to hire you.
All right. And the last question I have for you today, Kevin, is what are some things college students looking to work in your field can do to get their foot in the door?
So one thing that I could always say, actually three things: network, network, network. That's something that I've learned in the later years of my college experience. I joined a couple of organizations, Alpha, the Association of Latino Professionals being one of them. And it's something that definitely taught me to be very, I would say, open to networking with other people. And that's something that opened not only Lockheed, but so many other doors for me when it comes to, full-time offers, internship offers. And I know a lot of IB students may be looking for internships as well. I would say using the advantages of you being a college student is one of the main drivers too, because as a college student, you're an open-minded individual looking to expand your horizon with another company and maybe working for them full time. That's something that you could take advantage of being a college student. The minute you're out of college and you're full time, that's something a little bit different. It's a little bit more hectic out there because you're no longer a college student looking to learn. Now you're somebody looking for a job, and now you have to have these, specific qualifications in order to qualify. So I would say network, be very open, always look for networking opportunities, and don't be afraid to go wherever you need to. When I started out, my whole networking process, I was very afraid. I didn't want to really talk to other people because I didn't feel as comfortable. But the more I went to, these networking events, and the more I forced myself to talk to people, the more I would say pleasurable it became. And it pretty much became second nature to talk to new people and see how I could expand my network. Not only that, like I said before, being very open, having genuine conversations with people will form a very good impression. Impressions mean everything when it comes to, somebody offering you something for an internship or a full-time offer or not. So I would definitely say those type of soft skills and that type of networking is something that's definitely needed. There are so many organizations on campus to join, and anything that might interest you could be another foot in the door for maybe a full-time opportunity. So you never know what might come to you.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Kevin, for all of the amazing advice. It was a pleasure to do this interview with you today.
Yeah, no problem, Faith. And once again, I want to thank you for inviting me over here to have this interview. So definitely appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.